ओ वागर्ताविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्तप्रतिपत्तये जगतपितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां हरिः ओम्. So with a brief preamble and a warm up yesterday, we will start our discussion on Pancakosha Viveka. I have translated it in English as a discriminative analysis of the five-layered Atman. That is the nearest translation I can do. Pancakosha, and it's an Atman. So, Viveka is a sense of discrimination. That's the nearest English word I can use. So, we will do that. What I am going to do is, yesterday I made this observation. One of the biggest questions we have is we don't know who we are. And we have so many tags. In fact, I am not nullifying all that we said. I am so and so. I am, I ran this company, etc., etc. I am not saying they are all wrong. But they are probably not enough and they are not the ultimate description of ourselves. That's all. So this journey of knowing who am I is an eternal journey, and nobody can escape this journey. If people think they can escape this journey, they are fooling themselves. At the end of the day, that is the journey we are all going. We want to know who we are. And as we keep on progressing in our life, our understanding of what we are is keep on changing. That is also changing. Our idea of who I am 10 years back is not what it is today. So therefore, this trying to know who I am is something which you cannot wish away. Therefore, if we can properly understand it, understand some of the ways by which one can understand oneself, all those are useful. So that is where this Pancakosha is coming. Kosha ityukte kya matlab hai, we have to understand that. What is this kosha mean? Okay. Kosha has several meanings. Kosha means एक envelope होगा. That is one meaning. कुछ coverage है. Gufa hai. It can be a cave also. Kosha is also called cave. Something which is inside. वो एनवेलप ओपन करेंगे उसी से हम कुछ ले सकते हैं ना. सो वी कॉल इट एज अ कोशा, एन एनक्लोजर टू प्रोटेक्ट समथिंग, राइट. सो मोमेंट यू से दिस इज अन्नमय कोशा, ये आनंदमय कोशा है, ये विज्ञानमय कोशा है, दैट मीन्स आई एम नॉट एनी ऑफ दिस. ये केवल एनवेलप है. पदार्थ तो इतना इंपॉर्टेंट है, इंस्टेड ऑफ वन एनवेलप वी हैव पुट 5 envelopes and covered it. If something is very important, we put 2 envelopes. It should not get wet. It should not get destroyed. इसलिए हम एक ही रेगुलर एनवेलप में रख के फिर एक प्लास्टिक एनवेलप में रख के हम we'll just keep it, ना. Here we have put 5 envelopes. Looks like. So there is some fellow sitting inside all these 5. That is the meaning, right? And so it is some kind. So it is not the individual. It is only some cover. And why it is called cover? Because it can keep on changing. We'll see all this. As we go along, we'll slowly understand what is this Pancakosha. And if you keep on peeling the Pancakosha, what will happen? That is the next question that will come to us. We don't want to have an envelope and have nothing inside. Particularly if you put 5 envelopes. वो पूरा ओपन करने के बाद कुछ होना है उधर. Something very important must be there. Right? So that is the meaning of kosha. इसलिए we have to understand two things now. We have to first understand what is this kosha, and we also need to understand what is inside. We need both. First of all, we need to understand what is this envelope. What do we do with this envelope? Then we should also ask why this envelope. क्या इसका क्या आवश्यक है? What will be inside, and what is that inside, and what is my sambandha to that? These are the important things that we will have to really understand as we go along. So it is something like this. You have, think of 5 koshas, 5 envelope. The outermost envelope is called Annamaya. They are also in the order. There is a particular order in which it has been kept. The outermost layer is called Annamaya. Then iska thoda hum, if you scratch it and open it, let us say, then you get the next envelope called Pranamaya. Then there is a third one. It is called Manomaya. उस भी हम निकाल कर सकते हैं. Then you get Vijnanamaya. Then the fifth one is called Anandamaya. उसके अंदर पदार्थ है, वस्तु है. So I put it in the middle something, we do not know what it is. Now the question is, who am I out of this? Where am I? Which one do I belong to? This question we never seem to ask. We have just left it. We have not really asked that question very often. Where am I? Am I sitting inside this, or I am outside of all these envelope? ये वस्तु तो अलग है, मैं तो अलग हूँ. क्या संबंध है ये वस्तु का मेरा, क्या संबंध है वो envelope का मेरा, क्या संबंध है? All these are ways by which we can actually answer who am I. We can answer our own question, who am I? So which is what actually this chapter is all about. This chapter is going to, in a very systematic way, it is going to take us one step at a time and tell us all this. So let us get on. There are 43 shlokas. In the first 9 shlokas, what Vidyaranya does, इसका definition देता है कि अन्नमय मतलब क्या है, what is annamaya, what is jnanamaya, what is jnanamaya. He is giving all those definitions, and then what he does, first he says this is annamaya, then he says you are not annamaya. Then he says this is pranamaya, then he says you are not pranamaya. Then he says this is manomaya, you are not manomaya. ऐसा करके he throws all the 5. Moment he throws all the 5, then one fellow says that means there is nothing. You are talking about shunya, nothingness. He says, oh अच्छा है, पूरा ये ना मैं नहीं हूँ. Then I am not there. See, Buddhists have what is called shunyavada. Shankaracharya heavily gave a reply. He showed how shunyavada is actually wrong, logically wrong. He is also doing it because he is the greatest follower of Shankaracharya. We'll see. So he asks, oh, then it is all nothing. There is nothing. Then he shows, no, I will now differ. You don't understand what that nothingness is. मैं उसी में ज़्यादा discussion दे दूँगा. So first 10 shlokas is define what is each kosha and say that you are not that. That is the first part. He is starting there. If it is not there, then the question is who am I? So बाकी सब 23 shlokas are 30 shlokas are a nice discussion on what is that vastu. मेरा और वस्तु का क्या संबंध है? All that is part of it. So we will slowly start looking at that. So we'll start with the first shloka. Guha hitam brahma yattat. You can repeat. Pancakosha vivekatah bodhum shakyam tatak kosha chakam pravivichyate. So let me explain what he is saying here. Guha ahitam, guha ahitam. I told you yesterday, he took one sentence from Taittiriya Upanishad. Yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman. That which is inside the gufa is also everywhere. That's how he has pulled that and went on explaining it. Guhe ahitam, that which is inside a guha, which is kept inside. Guha ahitam yat, that vastu which is inside that guha, tat, that substance, वो वस्तु है ना उसका, Pancakosha Vivekatah, by understanding, developing a good Viveka of Pancakosha, by understanding what exactly is this Pancakosha, by understanding that, Bodhum Shakyam, you can really understand that Vastu. Inside hai na, oh, Guhayam Ahitam, something which is inside. That if you want to really understand that, first you need to understand that, oh, there are these 5 envelopes. Pancakosha hai, Pancakosha Vivekatah, Bodhum Shakyam. He says, you can understand that Vastu. Tataha, therefore, because if you want to really understand the Vastu, you have to first understand the Koshas also. Therefore, Tataha, Kosha Panchakam Pravivichyate. In this work, explaining in detail this Kosha Panchakam. These 5 koshas that are all there, I will actually explain. This is how he starts the whole work. Because you need to know that there are 5 layers. You should know the lakshana of the 5 layers. See, suppose there is gold here. Suppose there is a bar of gold here. If I don't know the properties of gold, I will actually throw it into the dustbin. So if I have to make sense of it, I should know what it is. I should know what it is made of. If that Vastu Jnana is not there, I will just throw it. In the same way, हमारा गुहायाम क्या वस्तु है? First you have to know what is this fellow, what is it made up of, and how to, it is like a treasure hunt actually. How do we go there? See, if it is something is in a gufa, you also have to find your way to go. Only then you can get it, no? Otherwise you will be stuck. So therefore he says, let me first tell you that I will give you knowledge of the Panchakoshas. Okay? Now why is it required? Because the Brahman is associated with those 5 koshas. Why we do not know, but it is associated with that. Since it is very associated with that, we should know. Otherwise, we will not be able to separate it out and understand. Otherwise, we will not be able to understand. So, therefore, we has to know it. We have to know it. And he uses the word Viveka. The word Viveka, the definition of Viveka according to Shankaracharya is Nitya Anitya Vastu Vichara. Sir, I will tell you, this is the greatest principle to even run a business. You should know what is permanent, what is not. This is where a lot of decision making goes wrong. Perishable and permanent. There are many things which are perishable in life. I want you to understand. Many things are perishable. Age is perishable. This shirt is perishable. This computer is perishable. It becomes obsolete. Relationships are perishable. Okay? Property is perishable. Title is perishable. Ego is perishable. There are so many things which are perishable in life. Many things are perishable. There are certain things which don't. They are permanent. So even when we even take a decision in our life, in our office, in our work setting, we should always develop what is permanent and what is perishable. If we develop that understanding, sometimes the quality of decision is good. That's why it's called Viveka. So here also he uses the word Viveka, which means I will show you things which you have to throw off. You should be able to separate it. Hamsa Pakshi, when you give water with milk, it separates the water. It takes only the milk. In the same way, we should approach life like that. There are so many confusing things told to us, so many things, and then we don't even get to the heart of the matter. उसका एकदम अंतर हमको जाना है. पदार्थ का स्वरूप लक्षणस्य Avagaman avashyak hai. We have to really understand what is changing, what is not changing. Then many things become clear in our life. Many things become clear in our life. See, Bharata, in Ayodhya Kanda of Ramayana, Bharata came with all, Vasishta, everybody they came to Bharadwaj ashram. They all wanted to, because Bharata shouted at his mother like anything. Why did you do all this? Who asked you to do all this? Then he said, I am not going to rule this country. Let us go and then bring, with the whole army they came. That time there is 105th Sarga. It's a very beautiful Sarga in Ayodhya Kanda, in which the Rama and actually 95th Sarga to 119th Sarga is the conversation between the two brothers, Bharat and Rama. There is a conversation between the two. Let me just switch it off. Just give me a minute. So Bharata was trying to tell him, no, you should come back, everything is fine, you have to come back, all that. There's one Sarga in which Rama says, he gives a very beautiful example. There is a big river, lot of water going, gushing water. Rainy season mein hoga na, zyada pani ho, so there's a lot of water going. In that there are two woods from the mountain, particularly in Himalayan range we will find it. From the top, so many things will come. So two blocks of wood. Rama is giving this example. You see, Bharata, you are jumping up and down. You are saying brother, father, brother and all that. I will tell you one thing. There is a water which is flowing. Two logs of water, two blocks of wood. They are going together like that, shaking, they are going. After a while, what happens? Because of that water current, one wood goes like this, one wood goes like that. He says, Sahaja. He says, even your relationship, all those are perishable. Why are you jumping up and down? Don't talk about all that. Father has said something. We should honor the, words of Father, and for that, whatever we have to do, we do. So he says, nothing is permanent. Why are you jumping up and down? In that entire 105th Sarga, he gives a very beautiful explanation of what is permanent and what is perishable. So that is called Viveka. So Panchadashi Vidyaranya says, I want to give you a Viveka of the Koshas. I want you to very clearly understand, this is not what I am. That clarity of thought must come. I will do that for you. That's why it's called Pancakosha Viveka. Kosha Panchakam Pravichyate. From now on, we will go on to describe the 5 koshas in some detail. ऐसा preamble करके अंदर प्रवेश होता है. So first shloka is only a preamble that we will get in. Second shloka, देहाभ्यंतर प्राणः देहादभ्यंतर प्राणः प्राणादभ्यंतरं मनः ततः कर्ता ततो भोक्ता आसेयं परंपरा. देहात् अभ्यंतरः प्राणः प्राणात् अभ्यंतरं मनः. Okay, अभ्यंतरा is inside. अंतर है ना, अभ्यंतर है इत्युक्ते एकदम inside. Okay, so देहात् अभ्यंतरः प्राणः. देहात् इत्युक्ते अपादान पंचमी विभक्ति. So you take out deha, which means it's like opening the first door. Imagine there are 5 doors to go inside. You open the first door. The moment you open the first door, you go inside, na? So first there is deha, and then after the deha it says prana. Pranat abhyantaram manah. After prana, if you open that door also, let us say, then manas. That is the third fellow. Okay. Tataha, thereafter. Tataha ityukte Samskrite, thereafter. So thereafter, karta tata bhokta. Karta, the agency of action. Bhokta is the agency of enjoyment. So he says, first there is Deha. If you open that layer, peel that layer, then you get into Prana. If you peel that layer, you get into Manas. Then he says Karta. Prana, the Pranamaya, Vijnanamaya is called Karta. Because for action you need knowledge. Without knowledge, knowledge only transforms into action. If you don't have any knowledge, you will not do anything. You will be just sitting. Whatever we do is because of some knowledge. I know that there is a dining area, I have to have food because there is some knowledge that dining area means where food is served. There food will be available. इसलिए हमको उधर जाना है. Every action happens only because action is only a fallout of knowledge. That's why he uses the word Karta for Vijnanamaya. Then Bhokta. That's an enjoyer. Inside. Okay? Guha. Then he uses the word Guha. So this is like a cave. This is like a gufa. It is all inside like that. Sa iyam parampara. Seyam is sandhi. Sa iyam gunasandhi. Seyam. Parampara. See, parampara means there is order, no? Grandfather, uske baad father. Uske baad son, grandson, aisa hona hai na? So there is a strict order. The word parampara is telling you cannot change the order. इसी वो पंचकोश है ना, इसका एक ऑर्डर है, उसी ऑर्डर में हमने देखना है. You can't change the order. To tell that he uses the word parampara. Sa iyam parampara. Parampara also has another meaning. Parampara means long standing. पुरातन से हम ये चल रहा है, ये काम चल रहा है, इसलिए परंपरा हम बोलते हैं. So that also has a meaning like that. It's all going on and going on. It is not that this Pancakosha started only some 1,000 years back. The day man was born, the Pancakosha is there, and that Pancakosha is going like that. Sa yam parampara. That's what he is saying. So Deha, all these Sanskrit words are very, very interesting. In fact, the charm of Sanskrit is every word has a very unique meaning. For example, if you take body, in English and many languages I don't say it. We say only body, no? What else we do say? We call it as body. You know what? I'll tell you two padas in Sanskrit for it. One is called Deha. Here he is using Dehat. Deha. Another is called Sharira. They have two different meanings. Dahyate iti Deha. That which will be burnt. Dahyate iti Deha. At the end of it, it's burnt. It's burnt either with fire or it is burnt through the natural process. It all depends on whichever way you do it. Finally, they are all burnt through a natural process or an accelerated process. Whatever. That's why it's called Deha. Sharira is another word for body. Shiryate iti Sharira. That which withers. Janma Mrityu Jara. So every word in Sanskrit has a meaning. See, Agni. Pavaka. Pavaka means that which has a capacity to purify. Agni has a capacity to purify things. If you have to use, in that sense, you have to use the word Pavaka. Anala. You know, Anala is a very beautiful meaning. In Sanskrit, Alam means enough. Alam Bhojanena means enough here. 10 idlis, enough, not more than that. और दो, ठीक है, 12 से ऊपर ना ही जा सकते हैं. Alam Bhojanena. That is called alam. Alam means enough. Analam means not enough. When the fire rages, you give anything, it will consume. In that sense, if you want to describe Agni, you have to say Anala. Sanskrit word is like that. Each word has such a beautiful... So here he uses the word Deha. Because Dahyate. That which will just... one day will go up, burn and so on and so forth. Dahyate iti Deham. Huh? Guha. Guha. Guha Saiyam Parampara. The adjectives for the Guha. Guha is Strilinga. So, इसलिए Strilinga है वो विशेषण पदा गुहा के लिए. Okay. Then inside, moment you say one is inside another thing you have to understand. Sir, if you can put only something which is subtler into something bigger, is it not? The outermost envelope must be thicker. What you put inside must be a little subtler. What you put inside that is even more subtle. नहीं तो कर नहीं सकते हैं. So these 5 layers we also have to understand they are becoming finer and finer and finer. That is another meaning. We have to understand that. Because only in a thicker one you can put a slightly thinner one. If you put something inside that it should be even thinner. If you have to put something inside that it should be even more thinner. ऐसा है ना? So when you say that means the grossest is body. Annamaya kosha is the grossest. That's the meaning. Pranamaya kosha is slightly subtler than body. We'll see all that. Why? We'll see. Manomaya kosha is even subtler. Vijnanamaya kosha is subtlest. Anandamaya kosha is the subtlest. Really very, very subtle. This is another meaning we have to understand. The moment you say parampara and there is an order, first fellow is thicker, second fellow is slightly thinner, third fellow is even more thinner. This is another thing that we have to understand. So he simply, in the second shloka, he has quickly introduced the 5 names. He has simply said the names. And so he did two things. He listed 5 names now. He said Pranamaya, Annamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya. That is one he did. Second, he said it is a parampara, which means there's a strict order. Grandfather say father, father say son. Aisa. Isliye, first you have the Deha. Then there's a strict order in which. Then by saying that it is a parampara, he is also saying one is thinner than the other, subtler, subtler, subtler. All these we have to really understand. Also, we have to think of one more thing. Gufa will always have an entrance. An intelligent person knows how to enter. Nahi to we will just miss it, na? We should know properly. Sometimes we have to aisa karna hai, hona hai, or we have to go somewhere else. So a cave will also have an entrance, and an intelligent person will know the entrance. He'll just go and say, oh, there is nothing here, we may not even know. There may be some coral reefs inside the cave. हमने पता नहीं चला, वो वापस आया हमने. So an intelligent person knows how to actually enter. All these we have to understand from this shloka. Oh, moment you say kosha, oh, there is a cave you can enter very carefully. If you know how to enter, you can enter. There will be a vastu inside, that's why we have to enter. It's a treasure hunt. Anyway, so in the second shloka, he merely gives a good definition of just the terminology. He is not still said what is Deha Annamaya, what is Jnanamaya, nothing he said. He said only this much. Go to the third shloka and let us see what he is saying there. Pitra bhuktan jat viryat jato nenaiva vardhate deha sonnamayo natma prakchordvam tadabhavatah. In this shloka, he is formally getting into defining what is a Annamaya kosha. Now let me do a padacheda. In fact, all these shlokas are in terrific sandhi actually. So let me just do a little padacheda. Pitra bhukta annajat viryat. Pitra bhukta annajat viryat jatah anneneva vardate. Annena eva vardate. That is the first line. Deha saha annamayaha na atma. Okay. Prak cha urdhvam tad abhavatah. So in the first line he defines what is Annamaya. The second line he says why you are not that. You cannot be Annamaya. He establishes the fact that you cannot be Annamaya, which means Virochana is gone. Virochana thinks he is body. Now he is going to tell Virochana, sorry, you have not understood. Yesterday I told the Virochana story, na? Okay? So, to understand this, we can even get into Chandogya Upanishad, we can get into Taittiriya Upanishad. So let me recite a little bit of Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad has 3 chapters. The real teaching is in chapter 2. Brahmananda Lahari or Ananda Lahari, whichever way you want to say. Yesterday I chanted a little bit, I'll chant. Brahmavida apnoti param tadesha bhyukta satyam jnanamanantam brahma yoveda nihitam guhayam. That is where we took. Yoveda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman so oshnute sarvan kamaan saha brahmana vipaschiteti tasmadva ye tasmad atmana sambhutah akasha sambhutah akashat vayuh vayoragnih agnerapah abhyah prithvi prithvyam oshadayah oshadibhyonnam annat purushah. There is a evolution told there. Tasmadva ye tasmadva, there is some Brahman. From that Brahman, Akasha sambhutah. The notion of space came from him, from that Brahman. Akasha sambhutah. Akashat vayuh. Right? In fact, modern science is going exactly in this order. If they go to, Mars, they go to moon. You know what they do? First they explore the space. How is the space? Is there space? And they explore the space. It is called Akasha. Then they say, what kind of gases are there? Do you have carbon dioxide? Do you have oxygen? So, only when there is space, gas will flow. Otherwise, where will gas flow? So, Akashat Vayuhu. You know what does it mean? That means, moment you go to the second Padartha, it includes the first Padartha also. When you talk of gas, you talk of space also. Because without space, there is no gas. Vayoragnihi. Then the third thing they say is there fire? If you want to have fire, you need space and you need oxygen. And carbon dioxide, all those are required. Only then fire will come. So the third Padartha will include first 2 Padarthas. Plus. Akashat Vayuh, Vayoragnihi, Agner Apah. Where is water coming from? Water comes only from heat. It is a condensation cycle. You heat and then it condenses. Then it heats, it condenses. That cycle. And for water to perennially have water, we need heat. That's why Agner Apah, Abhyah Prithvi. The earth is actually made of all that. It needs water, it needs gas, it needs space, and it needs all that. Prithvi. Prithivyam Oshadayah. Out of the Prithvi came the Oshadi Vanaspati. The entire plant kingdom came out of that. Oshadi Vanaspatayah. Right? Then from that Annam. Because that is the only food available. There is no other food available. This is only food available. Even for somebody who eats non-veg 3 times, even that animal, finally, the food cycle ends only here. So without this, even animals cannot grow, even if you want to eat the animals. So food cycle always, Oshadibhyonnam Annat Purushah. It is food that we eat which becomes vital. That becomes reproductive sap. Only then that virya will come. That is what is. This much I have to say to come here. Pitra Bhukta Annat Viryat. Jata Viryat. You consume food, nourish yourself, that gives you the virya. Out of that virya, you deposit the seed in the woman's womb and then the birth happens. Right? That is what is told here. So the root cause of our existence is annam. That's why in Taittiriyopanishad it says, Annam Brahmeti Vyajanat Annadyeva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayante Annena Jatani Jivanti. This whole world happens only because of Annam. Jatani Jivanti. Child is born. It needs Annam for it to nourish and grow. That's what it says. Anneneva Vardate. That is the second part. So, the first layer is Annamaya. And how do you know it? Sir, you eat more, you know for yourself how your Annamaya is. The belly will become much bigger. You will add another, you will become an 800-pound gorilla or whatever. So, Annamaya you can see, Stula. It is the grossest element that you can see is Annamaya, all of us. That's why you stand in front of the mirror and keep seeing us also anyway. Right? So that we came out of Anna, eaten by the Father, and after we came out, we grew only because of Anna, right? Therefore, we start thinking, oh, therefore I am Annamaya. That thinking may come. After all, I am made of food only. Right? We are made of food only. So therefore, we may think, so first line it says, Pitra Bhukta Annajat Viryat Jataha Annena Eva Vardate. All this is fine. Does that mean that I can come to a conclusion, who am I? I am nothing but food. Can we say that? That's the next question which will come. Right? Now he says, Dehaha sa Annamayaha. See, there is a Maya Pratyaya. In Sanskrit, Maya, we use the word Maya. Okay? Maya, we say, no? Maya, it's called Mayat Pratyaya. Maya means modification. It has two meanings. One is, it is full. There are two meanings for Maya. It is full, there is one meaning. Purayati. You fill it. Another meaning, it is Vikara. Means it is different from that. So we are food, but we are slightly different from that. Because we are not, carrots and cauliflowers and aloo. That has changed. We have observed that and converted it to something else. So Vikara has happened. So whenever you represent the same idea but which has undergone a little change but preserved the original properties, we use the word Maya. So he says, Deha Saha Annamaya. So he is not Annam anymore, he is Annamaya. Annamaya ityukte thoda badal hua hai. It is all made of Anna, but it has gone through a bit change. हमारा liver है ना, उसमें वो पूरा processing हो रहा है. वो protein से वो starch वगैरह everything we take out of it, pump it into the, through the blood into all that, and then we grow. So it is slightly indirect, but it is food only. That's why it is called Annamaya. So the definite, whenever I say Maya, henceforth, when you say Pranamaya, Manomaya, Anandamaya, what we need to understand is, it is a Vikara. It has the original property, but that has been modified. थोड़ा उसका बदल करके हम यूज करेंगे, ऐसा हमने समझना पड़ेगा. So Annamaya. So we are Annamaya. Now the question is, why can't I be that? Like Virochana thought he is the body, he went happily. No, we can use a lot of logic. We don't need, see, Vedanta is all full logic. It doesn't need complex algorithms or mathematical principles, models. Kuch nahi chahiye. Let us assume we are the body. Let us start there and show why we are not. Because it's the easiest to show. Okay? Now, what happens if we are the body? Let us say we are the body. And I am saying I with a certain force. There is another person who lost both his legs, amputated. Accident hua. So if we are the body, if I am body, if 25% of my body has gone, the I must also cut down to 25%. Instead of say I, you say I. Thoda ho gaya na? It's not there with me anymore. I am gone. I have become 75%. We never do like that. In fact, on the contrary, people who have lost their eyes, people who have lost their legs, like this gentleman whom we saw in the video, people who have lost their parts, their I-ness is even stronger than you and mine. इसका वो इस much stronger, na? So very clearly it shows we are not the body. Simple logic. If we are the body, if somebody who doesn't have eye and somebody who is deaf and dumb should not feel eye as strongly as we are, he feels much stronger. In fact, I had a friend, when I was doing PhD in IIT Madras, I had a friend who did PhD with me, blind. Okay, he was blind. This, what I am saying is 80s. We didn't really have TVs at that time. It's only running commentary. Next day when there is a India-Australia match or India-Pakistan match that happens, this man will come and explain it in such vivid terms how Gavaskar took a catch, or something, Syed Kirmani took a catch, whatever. With such a detail, I asked Dilip, you don't have two eyes. How do you? I did not notice what you said. I have two eyes. इतना सूक्ष्म दृष्टि मेरा नहीं था. Whereas he will come and describe it so beautifully. What does it mean? That means all these are bells and whistles. They are not eye. They are not eye. They are useful. If they are there, we will use it. If it is not there, we know how to use it. So he was absolutely, his sense of understanding, he doesn't see because both his eyes are blind. But his sense of understanding of something and the way he describes, I wonder whether he has eyes or he is pretending not to have eyes. Like that I used to initially think. I mean, as a more this thing. So this body is not we. We should have the very minimum confusion on this matter. This is the first thing we should understand. This body is not we. It is just an instrument which we are using. It cannot be I, because you can drop off anything. This girl, I don't know how many of you know. What is her name? Who? Huh? Arunima Sinha. She was thrown out of the train while she was traveling in Raebareli. Why she was thrown out of the train? She had a gold chain. They pulled the gold chain, 60 kilometer speed. She is a sportswoman. And she has please see, there is an 18-minute TEDx video. You should see it. Because those people's sense of eye is 1,000 times more than us. You know what happened to her? She fell on the other railway track. She said, throughout night I was lying there. Rats were eating my blood. 49 trains passed by. Something like that. Maybe not on her by the side, I think. I don't know. Early morning, villagers were hearing the groaning sound and they came and saw this girl. She's a young girl. They took her to a primary health center and then the doctors were wondering what to do. And then she said, I am a national athlete. One doctor immediately gave his blood. He felt this girl must be saved. And then they sent her immediately. Then, what was written in the next day paper? In the newspaper? That she ran with her lover. And there was a love fight, hit and all that. And paper will write something which is very interesting to read. That's all they will write. If a dog bites a man, they will never write. If a man bites a dog, they will write. That's a dharma of newspaper. When they understood she is a national athlete, they took her to AIIMS. She was, what she did? 2.5 months she was both legs were amputated, obviously. As soon as she got discharged from the hospital, do you know what she did? She went and met one lady and told, I want to climb Everest. 2 legs are not there. She said, I want to climb Everest. She is the only girl who has climbed all the 5 peaks in the world today. Not just Everest. She talks about her Everest climbing in that. Her sense of eye is 1,000 times stronger than ours, I am telling you. So that is a proof that we are not the body. We are the body. If 2 legs are gone, we are finished, cut to size. Our eye is cut to size. लेकिन वो ऐसा नहीं है, ये तो उल्टा है. The day we are able to outgrow the body, the day we are able to step out of body, we find a new freedom. We find another version, so which means one envelope has been opened. For Arunima Sinha, one envelope has just like opened. For this person, this bike racer, एक envelope तो खत्म. You already torn it. वही हो रहा है. So, in the second line, what does he say? Na atma. Annamaya hai. Na atma. That is not the Atman. which is the quintessential nature of every one of us. Na Atma. Why? He gives one reason for it. Prak. Prak means earlier. Urdhvam means further. Further. He says this body was neither there before, this body is not there later, but I exist. I mean, I don't know how many of you will be comfortable if you think after I am dead, I am no longer there. That's a very uncomfortable feeling. How can I not be there here? My body may not be there. If you tell me I will not be there, I am not going to take it lightly. I want to search seriously this idea. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. He gives a beautiful example. He says, existence cannot become non-existent suddenly. You cannot get existence out of non-existence. He gives such ideas. Na asato vidyate bhavaha. In asat, where is the bhava? Asat mein kuch bhava ka moka bhi nahi hai. That's what he says. So, he says this body was not there sometime before. This body is not there after some time. But then you are not the body. That means this body cannot be, you cannot be, because you exist. Sir, you exist. There are 1,000 examples I can give you. And today in WhatsApp I see 1,000 more. See, in my village, I remember this distinctly. I remember in my village, one 1.5-year-old girl. Just the kids start talking, no? थोड़ा वो भाषण करने का शुरू होता है. Words में स्पष्ट नहीं होगा. Tamil girl in my village. At the age of 1 year, about 8 months or something, she started speaking and she was murmuring something. Constantly murmuring. Just started speaking but murmuring. You know what she was doing? She was reciting the 1330 Tirukkural by heart. Who taught her Tirukkural as she was born? That we existed before and that we will exist later. 1,000 examples I can give you. There are so many child prodigies, na? Kahan se aaya? There are so many child prodigies. Who taught them? Music. इतना सुंदर ध्वनि है, इतना सुंदर भाव से वो गीत गाता है. All these shows that this body is very temporary. Ramana Maharishi, at the age of 17, he just quit and went. One day he was a student in a school and all that. Sab chod ke gaya. He learned no Vedanta in this Janma. But then every sentence he says will just blow you off. Where from he got it? It means he existed, the body did not exist. Body temporarily existed, is just gone. So that is what he says. Prag urdhvam tat abhavatah. पुराना ही नहीं था, अगले ये बॉडी नहीं होगा, दूसरा होगा, पता नहीं. Therefore, on this ground, I will dismiss. Because I believe I exist. I know I will exist. Therefore, I cannot reduce myself to some temporary 40-year, 50-year business. I am not going to agree. That's what our Shruti also says. So we have to, in Sanatan Dharma, our only reference is Shruti, the Vedas. So Vedas only say that. So that's why he says, you can only be Annamaya, you cannot be that. You are not Annamaya, you are only Annamaya. It's only one part of it. And you are not that. So that is what he says in this shloka. Actually, the word Annam, the word Annam, it's time to stop. I'll do a little bit and then we'll take a break. The word Annam comes from At. Atyate. Okay, that is a root in Sanskrit. From At only the word Annam comes. Okay. Atyate chitabhutani. In Taittiriya Upanishad has something in Taittiriya. That which gets consumed. Atti means eats. That which is eaten is called Anna. Okay? The word Annam in Taittiriya Upanishad has a very beautiful meaning. Annam means everything is Annam. The whole world is Annam. That's why he said Annam Brahmeti Vijanat. Everything is consumed and everything, it goes back into it. It's called Virat. This physical universe that we are seeing, हम क्या इधर हम देखेंगे, इसका विराट बोलता है, and that is called annam. At means to eat. Swad atti. Mundaka Upanishad, there is a nice shloka, no? Dau suparna samanam vriksham parishasva jate. Thayor and abhichakashisi. The other one is eating. At means to eat. So the word anna comes from atyate iti anna. So that's how the word, every word has a meaning in Sanskrit. So anyway, that is what it is. So that is how it is. So he has now said, no, you can only be Annamaya because you existed, but this body did not exist. You chopped off your leg because of accident, nothing happened to you. Somebody doesn't have eyes, nothing happened to that person. He seems to be a sense of I-ness is very strong. And he is going to give one more reason also to destroy this idea that you cannot be Anna. That we will see after the break. We will take a break, have coffee, tea or whatever, come back and then we will continue. And then take it a little forward.